back to school night, the virtual edition. Here we are back to that. I'm Principal Sophianis. We're going to do introductions here in a moment. We have some very special people here for you to meet, and some new folks that we're so excited that have joined our team. So we'll have about a 30-minute time together. We'll give some highlights, some introductions, and some future dates when we can engage together again. And then we hopefully will have time for some questions. We do have folks monitoring the chat. And if we can get some answers to your questions that way, we certainly will. But we do have on the call with us the amazing Dr. Nikisha Sinclair. If you want to, Nikisha Sinclair, if you want to say, or Dr. Sinclair, say, go, go, Dolphins. So your screen pops up, maybe.
Go, go, Dolphins. Hello.
And Dr. Sinclair has been with us for the past year. So hopefully you have seen her on some of our other calls or during our meet and greet or our first days of school. Dr. Sinclair, what are your thoughts after 1 year at Morningside?
Well, after last year, wow, just so excited that we actually have kids in the building because they really are the best part of the job and they really do all make it worth it. So I'm just happy that they're back in the building and hopefully we can stay safe in the building and stay here for the rest of the year.
Yay. We also have our school business manager, Brian Barron, who, Brian, this is your 4th year, is that correct?
It is my 4th year.
All right. What are your thoughts about your time at Morningside?
Oh my goodness, I'm loving actually like having the core of Morningside back in person in a different location because it still feels just like Morningside. It's very cool. Yeah.
So then we also have some new staff members. So we have a new counselor named Megan Melick. So Mrs. Melick, if you want to say go, go Morningside and your screen will pop up and I will stop sharing so that if she wants to show her her website. Where are you, Mrs. Melick?
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Melick. I am so excited to be your school counselor. I've already started the work of meeting your kiddos. I've been to about 14 classrooms this week. And we'll just continue that work. I did want you to see very quickly the new Morningside website. This is how kind of a one-stop shop for parents, teachers, and students. And I bought the domain that is my name. So it's very simple, meganmelick.com. And here it is. And I'm popping out of the ocean because I'm so excited to be swimming with the dolphins. Go, go, MES. One of the things that I want to direct your attention to is the contact tab. This is how you will get in touch with me, including the parent appointments booking page. So if you are at all wondering how to get in touch with Miss Melick or what it is that I do every day, all day, including lesson plans that we are doing right now in the month of August, as well as SEL and No Place for Hate, this is where you find it. So thank you for your time. I'm so excited to meet all of you and to support you in your journeys through your time at MES. So thank you.
Yes, we are loving having you, Mrs. Melick. And other exciting news at our schools, we have a full-time social worker. Mr. Scott LaSalle has just started with us. How many days, Mr. LaSalle, have you been with us now?
I believe this is day 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell a little bit about yourself?
I'd love to. Well, Miss Melick is a hard act to follow with the website and all, but you got me and I'll do my very best. But I'm also extremely excited to be with you, very honored and privileged to be a member of this great team. It hasn't taken me a long time to see the wonderful energy and the great things that are happening at this school. I've also enjoyed meeting a lot of the students, some of y'all parents as well. And as Ms. Sophianos said, I'll be at full-time at the school this year, which means I've got a number of things that I'll be doing in addition to supporting the attendance initiatives at the school. One of the main things that I'm going to be doing is help anyone who needs any help to get rid of any barriers that might be preventing your students to coming to school. I'm just one phone call away. I'm also going to be available for any kind of resources. So if any time during the year you have curiosity about what in the community might help you or your family around medical or dental or mental health issues or anything of that nature, again, just hit me up. And if I don't know what it is, I'll find out where it is to help you. And the other thing I'll say briefly is that I'm also looking to start some psychoeducational support groups throughout the year. They're not therapy groups. They're really going to be kind of psychoeducational curriculum-based groups in each of the grade levels. So you may be receiving some information as the year goes on. We may be inviting some of your students to participate. So if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. My numbers, I don't have a nice slide, but it's 404-802-8981. Again, the extension is 8981. And I would love y'all just to give me a call sometime so I can talk with you further. But thanks for being here tonight and enjoy your the open house.
And that is everyone, your the CARES money in action, and a very wise decision by APS to provide full-time social workers at the school. So we're very excited about that as we go on in this continued pandemic. We also have two amazing instructional coaches. We have Celeste Howard here with us, and Celeste is our English language arts reading, writing coach. So Miss Howard, do you want to say hello and a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hello. And this couldn't happen at a worse time. My dog is barking. So if you hear that, sorry. I am Celeste Howard. This is my third year as an instructional coach, first year at Morningside. And I'm so excited to be here and so happy that I get to join this family. I've already been dove right into this dolphin work. And I am so thrilled that I get to be an instructional coach. If you're confused as to what they are, we help the teachers. We support the teachers in every way possible. We teach teachers and we help them to become the best that they could possibly be. So thank you. Nice to meet you all.
And then we also have Mr. Henok Tedessa, who is one of our teachers. Is he on the call? Mr. Tedessa.
I'm right here.
Yay!
Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm very lucky to be the instructional coach. I've been at Morningside for 5 or 6 years now. Everything just goes by so fast. One thing I just love about Morningside is just everybody in that building are just good people. That's just what I really love. And everyone works collaboratively. Teaching is the biggest plagiarist job. So my job is to copy something that's working one place and take it somewhere else. So it's just plagiarizing. That's all it is. It's just making sure that our teachers, number one, so it's like a triangle, right? We have our kids at the top and we're all at the bottom, all the stakeholders. So I'm just a part of everybody else, making sure that we do what we need to do, make sure we spark our kids' interest, make sure our kids are socially there and they're doing okay and they're accepting who they are as individuals. And once we know that, then the content and everything else will just be able to plug in easily. So that's just my job, just to be there to help the teachers, so our kids could just be who they are, the heroes that we need. So I'm thank you for the opportunity.
And he is our math guru. So he's going to be helping teachers.
I don't know about guru. Don't put that out there, please.
Well, we're thrilled you're on the team, and I'm so excited about this team. It's absolutely going to be a spectacular year. We have lots of support to help kids and teachers, so we're just thrilled. But let's jump into some hot topics. So just an announcement for our 4th and 5th grade families. We are going to be doing advanced math in the Midtown cluster this year. This is at all of our elementary schools and at our middle school as well. And then as you get into high school, there are course offerings that you get into. So it's a little bit different. You actually take some of those classes that I don't even know what they're about. They get really, really, really super advanced at a Midtown High. So there is a criteria for this program. It will be a cluster grouping within the class. All of Midtown is following that same model. So there will be no class changes, but differentiated groups at the 4th and 5th grade level. One of the criteria is an A in the overall grade from the year prior, but we'll also be using the MAP testing. So this program won't start until MAP testing is complete. And MAP testing is from August 23rd. Until September 13th. So we'll be contacting you after all the MAP testing is done, if your child has qualified for the program. So we're very excited about that. And the math standards are changing this year. So APS has been sure to let us know we don't know if this program will continue in the future. We're one of the last clusters to do it. We don't know of any other clusters or even school systems doing it, but we are going to continue that on for this year. If you've read your Digital Dolphin, I'm not sure if it went out yet. Our internet was down for a while. We do have a substitute shortage. We did have a class that received direct email from me about that situation. But we do have a substitute shortage. We need your help. If you can help us in recruiting, just send me names, talk to the folks, use all your networks. We need some substitutes to help our kids and help our teachers when our teachers need to be absent. So it is a part of the labor crisis that we're seeing in our country and other areas. This is just another area that has been touched by that. So anything, if any of you right now on this call would like to become a part of this amazing family and be a substitute here, and kind of take your parental involvement to the next level, you are welcome to be a substitute here. We would love to have you. There is some training that you could go through, and all the information is in the Dolphin, in the Digital Dolphin. You can find it on the APS website or just send me an email. We're looking for some great subs. We do have our surveillance testing every Monday. It's an opt-in program. We do want you to do your health check daily. We're starting to monitor that, folks. I can see exactly if you did a health check and when was the last you did it. So you want to start making sure you do that. And just so you know, our staff does that daily also. We have a series of questions when we clock in that we have to answer every single day. It's a part of our efforts to keep our school open and stop the spread, keep every class open, every kid here. And there's a lot of community spread right now. So if we can all just do a little bit more, that will really, really, really help us. I know there's been a lot of talk about the travel guidance that was in my blog. I found out about it from another school, though I should have known. I had read the travel guidance on the CDC. I just hadn't communicated it. I knew there was going to be some travel guidance for unvaccinated because I had read that in June when it came out, as I'm, looking at even my own personal life and understanding that, though I am fully vaccinated and will tell everyone that. So I have a different path, but our unvaccinated have certain requirements that they have to follow. And unfortunately, it is the bulk of our students. There are, of course, some exceptions. If you've had COVID within 90 days and so on, you do not have to quarantine, but there are some quarantining rules. I know there's questions about, well, what if it's just in a car? Or what if it's in the next state? Right now, the CDC is not defining that. And I'm not sure if APS will do that. It looks like we're just following that guidance. Again, I found out about it from another school, but we all now know about it from our principals meeting yesterday. And I have asked the district and several of us for the district to send this directly to you so you can see the same guidance I'm looking at, but it pretty much mirrors what's on the CDC website. Quarantine comes into play, the quarantine teaching, even for travel situations. So for positive COVID cases and documented close contact cases, of course, through Morningside, through Nurse Petty. Nurse Petty is our first responder. And for the travel quarantine, we do have quaranteaching. We have updated our website to really describe, I think, Brian, did you put it out there? What the basics are of the quarantine teaching. And
it's under teaching
really,
and learning.
Under teaching and learning, it is the 5 core content areas, and it's it's some sort of tutoring schedule and guidance schedule from the teacher in most cases to ensure that the students get the work done during their quarantine time. And again, we're a team, folks. All of these things that have been put into place are to help us to stop the spread as best we can of COVID-19. So we do have other opportunities to engage because we know that this is a short session and we have some other fabulous folks to meet on this call. So we are going to have, and I had mentioned in some of the forums where I've had parents that we really want to engage as many families as possible. So we're going to change up our principal coffee talks. We're going to do a principal coffee talk, and then we're going to do the next month a lunch talk. And the next month, we're going to do an evening talk, and we'll keep cycling through that so that we can hopefully engage as many parents as possible. When they are virtual, which we're still in the virtual mode right now for the foreseeable future for things like this, We will, of course, record everything. So even if you can't attend it live, you can actually watch it on the site. And even if we do get to the point where we do it live, we'll try to figure out a way to record what we can. So if we have a little camera set up so that we get more savvy about that so that we can put that recording out there. But these are the dates. I'm looking at the first full week of every month during the school year and picking one of those dates, again, different days of the week even, and then the different times so that we can really engage more and more of our families at our school. So that is really our information, but we have some other amazing folks to meet. So the Morningside PTA, our co-presidents, Susan Mathan and Tony Moore.
Thanks, Ms. Ofianos. I'm Susan Mathan. I'm PTA co-president along with Tony, and wanted to let you all know that PTA membership is open to all caregivers and teachers, and it's really easy to sign up through the website. Wanted to just tell you a little bit about what we do. We're governed by the Georgia PTA, and our mission is to make every child's potential a reality. With your support, we work towards our goal of a quality education and nurturing environment for every child. And the work of the PTA includes parent communication and engagement, teacher appreciation and support, community building, child enrichment, technology and innovation, curriculum support, and philanthropy. And in order to accomplish all this work, we have a couple different ways that we fundraise. Currently, we're raising money through our Dolphin Donors program, which is open to local businesses as well as parent patrons. And I wanted to highlight a new opportunity we have this year for our business Dolphin Donors. Thanks to our location over at Inman, we're able to hang banners along the fence on Virginia Avenue for some of our business Dolphin Donors to advertise. So if you have a business or are interested in being a parent patron, you can learn more about this program on the MES website under the PTA section. Please be sure to support the businesses that are supporting our children too. Our biggest, or one of our other big fundraisers is coming up soon, which is Boosterthon, and I'm going to let Tony tell you about that as well as some of our other upcoming events.
Right. Thanks, Susan. Hey, everyone. My name is Tony Moore. I'm the parent of a 5th grader and a 1st grader this year, and I'm your PTA co-president for 2021-2022. I'm going to quickly mention several of the programs that our board has started to plan, keeping in mind all of the programs I'm mentioning are going to need guardian parent help, support in order for them to come to life. With that said, we're starting big with the Boosterthon Fun Run. It's an annual event. It's always been entertaining for me and my children. It's a week-long event. It begins September 27th and it culminates on October 5th with the actual fun run. We're going to be able to leverage all of the much larger outdoor space at the MES Inman campus this year. And again, it's just, you'll hear about it from your children every day as they come home from school. You'll hear a lot of interesting stories. It is a great character building and fundraising opportunity for the school. But immediately following that, we go into our Halloween carnival, which is slated for October 30th. And personally, my sons and I are very excited. We've already have our costumes picked out. But what I'd say is that this one, we are also going to need all hands on deck to make this a success, a safe success for our families and kids. Following that, we've got the spring auction scheduled for March 5th. You can start booking your babysitters now for a fun night out away from the kids. And hopefully, again, we're going to bring back the variety show. We don't have a date just yet, but we're aiming for 2022 next spring. We're currently without a chair for that program specifically. So if anyone is interested or has ideas or a background in or just any skill set that you think might be able to help with organizing a variety show, we'd greatly appreciate it. I'd say that, yeah, the board and I, we've met, back in May. We have many more events, many more ideas. We really want to make this year memorable and exciting, given all that's happened in the previous year for our kids. And in order to bring these events to life, we need your help. Specifically, we need parents and guardians, anyone who has time or energy, please consider getting involved. It's rewarding for me. My sons are excited when I tell them guess what? I learned something about an event that's happening at your school. You get the insider information from your dad. No matter how limited you are on time, there is always going to be a place for you to help. Please reach out to me or any of the board members. Please visit the membership toolkit. You can sign up for any of the committees there. And in particular, though, I really do want to stress that we need some volunteers for the Halloween Carnival. We're moving full steam ahead. We've signed our contracts. We are ready to have a fun, outdoor, safe event for our kids. But we're getting into the tactical pieces that we really need some hands-on to help us deliver the event and make it a success. So with that, I will stop. I've said a lot. I'll turn it back over to either you, Audrey, or Brian, but thank you all. And please reach out if you're interested in volunteering on any of the committees.
Thank you, PTA. We love all that you do for our students and our teachers. We really do. And we're so fortunate to have a second organization, which is our Morningside Elementary School Foundation. And we have Kristen Holtz here, who is the foundation chair.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I love that the PTA and the foundation got to talk back to back, because I like to highlight the fact that we're two separate organizations that work in different ways, but in complementary ways, and collaborate really closely to make sure that the monies that both of the organizations raise are applied in really high impact ways for our community. So my name is Kristen Holtz. My Twombly twins, Charlotte and Elizabeth, are in 4th grade now. And this is the first year I have a kid in every Grady cluster school. So I've got Caroline's in 6th grade, unbelievably, at Howard. And I've got my stepson Jefferson at Grady, now Midtown High. So I'm a seasoned cluster parent. And I've been involved in the foundation for the past 3 years, along with the rest of the board members. We have 8 awesome board members as well. And what the foundation does is work within our pillars of technology, curriculum, and teacher training to really create dynamic experiences to help retain teachers, to help support the administration, and really to make Morningside one of the very best elementary schools in Georgia. Our flagship programs in the past have been supporting big technology purchases, so Chromebooks, before that, Promethean boards. We've invested heavily in Orton Gillingham teacher training, and I think we're up to almost 68% of all teachers at Morningside being trained in Orton Gillingham, which is an amazing percentage. And we've invested heavily in EAF tutoring for reading, which has been pull-out services for kids who need a little more reading support so that the teachers in the classroom can focus more on the kids who are reading at level. And so this past year in the pandemic world, we were really grateful for our ability to be nimble and our independent structure that let us apply money and funds very quickly without any rebudgeting. So within the span of a couple weeks, when it was time to go back to school in February, we were able to buy extra monitors, microphones, cameras, even power cords to make sure that the hybrid and the in-person and the remote learning experiences were all equal, and that our teachers really had the support and technology that they needed. So I'm here tonight. We don't have events, we don't have Boosterthon, but we are starting our annual appeal this tonight, in fact, launching it. And I want to make sure that you know there's going to be communications coming from Foundation, talking about some of the activities that we've got planned, some of the fundraising that we need, and asking all of the generous parents of Morningside to give what they're able to support the foundation, who then supports the school in turn. And this will help all of us have a great Morningside experience. We'll support our teachers, our administrators, and this fabulous school community. So what's in it for you? Well, donations are tax deductible. That's great. I can tell you that there's some swanky lawn signs getting printed. So anybody who donates at a certain level will get a lawn sign showing them as a foundation supporter. And our fingers are crossed that we'll be able to have our social events where we can bring together people in person to drink and be social and have a great time. So public health conditions allow, we'll be able to do that. So I ask that you please consider a donation to the foundation. Please look for our communications. We're going to be highlighting some teacher testimonials, talking about what the foundation has done for them personally. We're going to introduce you to all the members of the foundation board. And I personally am here to answer any questions you have about the foundation. I will put in the chat a fabulous schematic that we worked out that explains the difference between the PTA and the foundation, and even kind of highlights the Go Team, which is another one of our great supporting organizations at Morningside. So you can understand, particularly if you're new to the school, how these organizations work together and how we all work towards the common goal of making Morningside great. So my email address is there. I'd love to hear from you with any questions. Please keep your eyes out for some of our annual appeal information. And thank you so much for the time to talk about it.
Thank you. And I tell you, this last year, when, again, you know, when we reopened and we had to pivot to a new way of living and needed supplies and equipment and cameras and microphones and recess bags and just, you know, because of the zones, and, you know, both of these organizations just worked on behalf of all of our students. And we just, you know, I had said at one point in my mind that, you know, Mr. Barron and I, in those early times of the pandemic when we were reopening, and it was like, oh my gosh, we have this amazing Calvary and they're here. And it's these two organizations. And then of course, with the strategic planning of our Go Team. So just thank you for all that you have done for our kids and will continue to do, both groups. So you do have, right after this, there are these drop-in kind of open house style 30-minute sessions that you can, you may have gotten invites to from special education teachers or ESOL teachers or gifted teachers, or then we also have the whole special area teachers if you want to meet any of those folks. So you have that. You can just go into the Zoom rooms and maybe just a big giant party, no presentations, but a little Zoom party to meet the teachers that your children work with. And then we have the different grade level times that you should have received an invite from your teacher to go in and experience that open house with your child's classroom teacher. So that's happening throughout the rest of the evening. But what I saw, there was a question in there about, you know, what happens if a teacher travels? What happens if an unvaccinated teacher travels? Well, that's not to get into too much depth, but yeah, it says right on there, you are not to travel if you are not vaccinated. But here's the good news. I can give you a little preview of the survey that has just happened with our teachers. I don't think it's closed, but we were over 90% of our staff being vaccinated. So that was great news. APS is doing that survey, and it's an anonymous survey. So that is, you know, that was some of the data that I just saw. I knew we were over, I was guesstimating over 75%, but I didn't know, you know, that we would be close to that, you know, high 80, low 90% range. And I continue to encourage folks to get vaccinated. We do have a substitute shortage. And I will tell you, we have the teams of teachers that have other jobs and teams of staff that are jumping in and teaching these classes, you know, teaching for 2 hours, 1 hour, you know, whatever it may be. It is not the best situation, but there will be, you know, we don't want to divide the classes out and then compromise physical distancing in the classrooms by combining kids into other rooms. But I will tell you, APS is aware of it. And they're also trying to figure out what to do, whether it is, you know, raising the, you know, the substitute pay, whether it is doing some additional recruiting things. You know, there's other things that can be done. We've emailed every sub in the system to try to recruit more, and we're going to continue to do that. And then recruiting in our teacher community and in our parent community. So hopefully this is a short-term problem and we'll get some long-term fixes in. What other questions are there? We have time for a couple questions. Is there anything in the chat that's like burning question we need to know? Anybody see that? And I'll stop sharing. Anything in their team?
I saw someone say, under what conditions will a child be sent home due to travel?
So from what I read, it's just if you've traveled. So what isn't defined is, does that mean like outside of the metro area? Does that mean outside of Georgia? It just says domestic travel versus international travel. And the guidance is very similar. So hopefully we'll get some clarification from APS, but right now, everyone that we have worked with, they have traveled out of state in some means, you know, whether it's by car, plane, bus, train, and that's who, you know, we are having to look at quarantining issues with.
We also have a question from Tess. Has there been any conversation about planned virtual weeks after high frequency travel times during the year, like Labor Day or holiday breaks? That happened last year after spring break.
Yes.
It was tricky to plan on the spot.
I love it that you all are thinking like we're thinking, though we don't want to go virtual. We have asked the school system to take a look at, you know, those different holidays and what impact that it might have, and then what creativity, like what do we do? Is virtual the only option? Is there another option? You know, what are other school districts doing? So they are looking at that too. We asked them of that yesterday. So, but we're all thinking alike. So, and we encourage you all, you know, to take a look at the surveillance testing that is opt-in. I'm there every week, even though I'm fully vaccinated, getting that test. So, all right, well, it is 5:32 and I know we have new people coming in. So we need some of our folks to, we have like almost 300 people on this call. Let's just keep going. But I know some of you want to visit your other teachers. So we're glad to have seen you tonight, and have a great rest of the night. And we'll start in just a couple minutes with the new crowd. I know we got lots of people piling in, so we'll give a little time for that transition. All right. I saw there were some nice messages in the chat. That's awesome. We have our new folks coming in as our former group is leaving.
I just want to say that we are going to have, we're doing the exact same presentation. So if you don't have other sessions to go to at 5:30, you can take a 30-minute break before, you know, if you have K and 1 at 6 o'clock, so on and so forth. So it will be the same exact presentation for you.
And if we were just so enthralling the first time, you're welcome to stay for the second.
Encore, encore.
Right. Mr. Barron, I don't think we need to record both.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
you
going
can
to turn it
stop.
off.
I think you can stop the